Good morning, boys and girls. I would like for you to grab your whiteboard and your marker. We are going to write some more silent E words today. Remember, when it is a short vowel, it's going to say a, I, a. When it is a long vowel, it's going to say its name, A, E, I, O, U. Now, I know we've been working on this for a while, but it is really hard for you when you're reading to go back and forth between short and long and knowing what to do. All right, your first word I want you to write is bick. B-I-C. Bick. That is a no-nonsense word. You're right. Okay, let's write it. B-I-C. Could be a C, could be a K. This time it's a K. All right, I've got my magical wand, and we're going to put our magic E on the end. That's going to make the I say its name. What is our new word? Ike. Bike. You got it. Great. All right, let's do another one. Let's do the word hid. Id. Hid. All right. Id. Hid. All right. We're going to put our magical E on the end. It's going to make the I say I, and my word is hide. Hide. Very good. Okay, you are done with your whiteboard for today. We will need it again tomorrow for writing. Yesterday, I loved all your predictions about what it looked like when Camilla was trying to wake up the leaves instead of rake the leaves. That was so funny. I'm going to read you the entire story today of Hooray for Wadney Wat. For our writing today, you are going to make connections to your own life. So Wadney's really scared to talk because everybody makes fun of him. You're going to be talking about today during your writing about something you're scared of, okay? And we'll talk about that more after I read the story. Hooray for Rodney Rat. Poor Wadney. Wadney Wat. His real name was Rodney Rat, but he couldn't pronounce his R's. To make matters worse, he was a rodent, a wodent. What's your name, Wadney? Asked the other rodents. Wadney Wat, whispered Wadney. What's another name for bunny? They asked knowingly. A wabbit, he mumbled. And how does a train travel? They winked at each other. A twain travels on the twain tracks, Wadney replied miserably. All this teasing day in and day out made Wadney the shyest rodent in his elementary school. His squeak could barely be heard in class. He gnawed lunch alone. And while the other rodents scurried and scooted about at recess, Wadney hid inside his jacket. Then one day, as the rodents were taking turns doing wheelies, a new rodent, a very large rodent, barged into the classroom and announced, "My name is Camilla Capybara. I'm bigger than any of you, I'm meaner than any of you, and I'm smarter than any of you." Then she added, "So there." With that, she accidentally on purpose elbowed an ear, bumped two noses, stepped on three tails, and laid down on a desk. Fur prickled in fear through the classroom. She sure was bigger than any of them. She sure looked meaner than any of them. Was she smarter than any of them? "What's 2 plus 2? Asked Mrs. Fuzzleworth. "4, shouted Camilla Capybara without even bothering to raise her paw. And furthermore, 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 8 is 16, and 243 plus 125 is 368. Later, when Mrs. Fuzzleworth asked, "What's the capital of?" Camilla interrupted, "New York, Albany, population 295,594. And during science, in an answer to the question, "What part of the plant is below the ground?" Camilla Capybara danced on her desk and sang, "Root, root, rooty toot toot." Yep, thought the other rodents, she's smarter than we are too. They felt very, very uncomfortable. Every afternoon, just before the final recess, Mrs. Fuzzleworth drew a name from her hat to see who would be the leader for their favorite game, Simon Says. She scrunched her eyes closed and jiggled the hat. Would it be Hairy Hamster, Many Feet Mouse, Grizzlefizz Guinea Pig? Could it be Mean big, smart Camilla Capybara. Mrs. Fuzzleworth's paw reached in and pulled out the name of Wadney Wat. The bell rang. There was a wild scurry for the door, and Camilla Capybara was the first one on the playground, having trampled the others in her path. To Wadney, she looked especially scary. What would she do when she heard him speak? Breathe, Capybara, breathe, in his face, or tie him up in his own tail, or even pounce on him. The tiny, trembling leader of the game stood before the eager players in his head well inside his jacket and squeaked, Wadney says read the sign. While the other rodents read PS 142 Elementary School for Rodents, Camilla began pulling up weeds around the sign and wildly flinging them hither and yon till she was clear up to her teeth in dirt. The other rodents began to smile. Wadney says, wrap your paws around your head. He peeked a little peek out of his jacket and saw, whap, whap, whappity, slappity, whap. Camilla was whapping her paws around her head so hard she became dizzy and gave herself a headache and had to sit down. The other rodents couldn't help but giggle. Wadney says, play wing around the wosy. Camilla put out her arms like wings and made an airplane noise. But where was the wosy? What's a wosy? By now, Wadney's voice was stronger and his head was entirely out of his jacket. Wake the leaves. Nobody moved. Wadney says, wake the leaves. While Harry, Minifig, and Grizzlefizz and the others busied themselves raking, Camilla Capybara grabbed a leaf. Wake up! She yelled. She snatched another. Come on, you! Up, 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 said another. Rise and shine. And another boom. By now, all the other rodents were squealing with laughter. All but Camilla, who frowned. Stupid leaves. They won't wake up. And why was everyone laughing at her? Such bullies. In a voice so strong he had to hold his own ears, Wadney called. Wadney says go west. The rodents collapsed in a happy heap for a rest. Go west? Camilla Capybara, feeling very smart that she could tell directions by the sun, said, all right, I shall go west. And then she added, so there. West she stomped forever. She was gone. And from that day on, all the pupils of PS 142 Elementary School for Rodents never teased Wadney again. He was their hero. Hooray for Wadney Wat, they cried. Woo, woo, woody toot toot. All right, so I want to tell you something that Miss Latham is scared of. I do not like spiders at all. They scare me to death. I don't like them. I don't like when they're in my house. I get really kind of sweaty because I don't like them. So for your writing today, I want to know something that you are scared of. Are you scared somebody's going to make fun of you? Are you scared of the dark? Are you scared of snakes? What are you scared of? That's what your sentence is going to be today, okay? And I want you to upload it into your Google Slides. See you tomorrow.